So this is a really exciting day because I have finally finished my Polly plot for my rewriting of Polly the opera. I had a workshop version that I wrote and produced back in 2003 at the Adelaide Fringe. And the reviewer said that there were some plot issues, and it took me a while to get up the confidence to go and have lunch with him and say, what are the plot issues? And he said I hadn't made the main character sympathetic and blah, blah, blah. On and on it went. He was absolutely right. I had mistakenly thought operas have ridiculous plots. I can just write a ridiculous plot. But that was 15 years ago, and I laid it aside. And then in the last few years, I've been slowly rewriting it. And I think today I've finished the rewrite, which I'm very excited about. So Polly's a middle-aged woman who's seemingly in the employ of Earl, and she's the tea maker at Earl's tea rooms. And the story is about what it takes for her to end the abusive relationship between them. There's a power imbalance. And the question I was looking at was actually, what does it take a woman in an abusive relationship after 20 years of waking up every day and saying, I will invest my resources in making this work, and often quite successfully, hey, to 20 years and one day going, that's it, I've had enough, I'm leaving, I have better things to do with my life. And I'm fascinated by what changes, what finally snaps in that one day. And I thought, in any power imbalance, one of the dynamics that's essential is that the powerful person owns the narrative. They dictate to the abused person what is happening and why. My interpretation of events is the interpretation of events. So the experience for the victim is that their ideas, this behavior is unreasonable, I'm being oppressed, etc., are pushed aside and replaced with a loud narrative of, you made me do it, you're flawed, I'm just trying to teach you how to be right, I don't know, whatever it was. whatever the more powerful person's narrative is. And it is the requirement must be to one day say, actually the tiny little sliver that I have, the tiniest inklings that I have left of my interpretation of events, that's coming back into the foreground and taking up all of my ideas of what's happening here, and I am replacing your narrative with my own interpretation and making my decisions based on that. Which is why Polly needs to go to a poetry night, because poetry is nothing if not the truth. And meet Picander, who's a very self-centered person, so she can see what is someone like who every decision I make is based on my own feelings. But he's not abusive, he's just selfish. So that he's a model for her.